Good Thursday afternoon. It's Fox 19 First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart here in the streaming center with the 19 at noon show. And the old scare ball is back, as you can see behind me. We've been socked in with cloud cover. It seems like, most of this week. I think Monday was nice, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know, I've lost track of the days. But it's been a mess outside for much of this week. That has changed today. We're in our brief little lull. We have some birds flying out here in Queensgate. A really nice day. But that's going to change as early as tomorrow morning. And it looks like we're just going to get thumped with a good amount of rainfall just in time for the Friday morning commute. So be patient tomorrow. Leave early if you can and watch out for the standing water on the roadway because it looks like a mess. Let's hop over to something a little different before we start talking about all that bad news. Let's talk about a different bad news. We have no severe weather with tomorrow's system. In fact, no severe weather officially in the forecast. Maybe next week, but that's a long ways out. We'll keep our eyes on next Thursday. What we have seen so far this year, I just thought this was interesting. I was kind of looking at this map of all the tornadoes we've seen so far this year. Here, the tri-state, compared to a lot of other places in the Midwest, we've been pretty lucky. We have 14 tornadoes confirmed across the area, all EF1 or lower. You can see that EF ranking ramps up a little bit with those yellow tracks just west of our area. Those are EF3s or EF2s or 3s. I forget the color scheme. Either way, they are stronger than the ones we have seen. 4s are those big red tracks. You can see the one that went through London, Kentucky, Somerset, Ely, Kentucky, just off to our south there, and some more long track tornadoes through northeastern Arkansas into Missouri. Some nasty storms. So yeah, EF2, 3 is the orange, and red is the 4. Sometimes it takes me a second to remember these things when I didn't put my own legend on there. But here's what I'm trying to point out with this graphic. These are all the tornadoes we've seen so far this year, near the Ohio Valley, towards the Mississippi River Valley. Look off to the west. This is kind of what we think of out there as traditional tornado alley. I'll highlight it there so you can see. Not a lot this year. There has not been a lot of tornadic activity. I mean, there's been some. They haven't been tornado-free. They've seen tornadoes in each of these states, but there hasn't been a bunch. This is kind of a shift that we've noticed since the 80s, 90s. More tornadoes a little bit outside of that area, especially through the Ohio Alley, Ohio Valley Alley, as they call it, and kind of more deep south there as well, Mississippi through Alabama into Georgia. So kind of two lobes, or if you just kind of connect it, a little bit of everything there in between. So it's been an interesting stretch there this year in particular, because it really lines up with what this is showing, is that Tornado Alley is trying to move a little bit further eastward here in the last couple of years. More moisture certainly helps with that, warmer temperatures, something to keep an eye on with the tornado threat we've seen so far. Been a lot. No severe weather tomorrow, but we will be dealing with some rainfall. So without further ado, tomorrow is not a first alert weather day, but I'm first alerting you that we are going to see some slowdowns because we're not going to see any severe weather. But some areas could see a couple inches of rain, at least an inch in a few spots here south of town tomorrow morning in a quick amount of time. And it's just the timing that's going to be bad with this tomorrow. It will be moving in just in time for the morning drive. Going to throw some more numbers at you because everybody loves those, right? You guys are trying to enjoy a nice lunch, and I'm just throwing 16.53 inches at you. This 16.53 is the amount of rainfall, 16.53 inches we have seen in March, April, and May up until now with just a couple days to go. This is, meteorological spring. They start on the start of the month rather than, the astronomical spring, which starts later on. So summer is June. I didn't look it up. I should have looked it up before I started talking about it. June 20th, 21st, somewhere around there. So meteorological spring, March, April, and what we've seen in May so far, 16.53 inches. If that sounds like a lot, it is. Out of all the records going back to the 1800s, we are at the 12th wettest meteorological spring ever. We're not going to get anywhere close to the record, which was set back in 2011. You probably remember that. We were at 24 inches, almost 25 inches of rainfall up to that point. With those months alone. So with that said, it has been soggy. If we get 0.67 inches, 0.67 of an inch of rain, that'll put us in the top 10 all time. Again, nowhere close to the record, but something we could definitely get into the top 10 for with just tomorrow's rainfall. And then we'll dry back out Saturday, Sunday. So something to keep an eye on. And, of course, June starts here in just a couple days. 70 degrees outside. The old scare ball is back out and shining. Hopefully you get to get out there and enjoy some of that sunshine today. The rain. Unfortunately, here's you want some more bad news? Here's bad news, Brad. June is our wettest month. statistically. We typically see more rain than not in the month of June. Our wettest month, I did not bring my clipboard in here, but I think it's 4.7 something inches of rain is our normal rainfall for the month of June. So if you were hoping that things were going to dry out as we closed out meteorological spring and head into meteorological summer, I have bad news for you because it is our wettest time of the year next month. Things do drop off a bit as we work way into July and August, and they certainly dry out into September. September's our driest month, but June is not. June is our wettest, so keep the rain gear close by. You'll probably need it, especially for tomorrow, but we'll see what happens as we work our way into, I was just making sure I had the right thing clicked, into the end of May and heading into June. 70 degrees outside at the International Airport, 73 at Lunken. Really nice, pleasant day. Make some outdoor plans. Clouds will thicken late tonight ahead of that next storm system tomorrow, but overall, really nice day. We're running almost 10 degrees warmer than yesterday already. Most spots across the Ohio Valley about 5 to 15 degrees warmer. So the warm-up is on, but that warmer air can hold more moisture, and it will fuel that heavy rain threat tomorrow. So a brief lull right now in the Ohio Valley, but that is what's heading our way. Again, no severe storms with this. That's the good news. But we could, like I said, see some heavy rainfall, and it's just going to be poorly timed rainfall with how it's going to be moving in just in time for the morning commute tomorrow. So let's dive into it. High temperatures today, mid to upper 70s in most spots. With how quickly we're warming up and how much sunshine is out there, I might be a little low on these temperatures. We might have to bump those up into the upper 70s. Really nice day, warm day. Fair amount of cloud cover from time to time as that next storm system rolls in, but most of us are dry until the early overnight hours. 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that rain will start to push in. We'll see more widespread heavy rainfall by 5 to 7 a.m., and that's what you're seeing here. And then by 8, a few rumbles of thunder are possible. Where you're seeing those red shaded areas, and you'll see that drift across our southernmost communities, that's where areas could pick up an inch of rainfall tomorrow morning. So we're talking standing water on the roadways, very limited visibility at times where those heavy downpours move through. And then to add insult to injury, we'll continue to see on and off downpours, a few rumbles of thunder into the afternoon and evening hours. Not a washout. We will have a little bit of dry time tomorrow night. But overall, just kind of a lousy Friday to close out the week. Don't be fooled. I do think we catch a little bit of a break between about dinner time and 11. Don't have plans to stay outside because we will have more rain pushing in late in the evening that'll carry on into early Saturday morning. So a rain-filled Friday, a waterlogged Friday, high temperature, a rain-cooled 68. Friday night to Saturday, there's that lingering rain shower activity. This is going to be the backside of the system. It will continue to push its way on out of here. Yes, you could see some showers, certainly some wet sidewalks or whatnot, some roadways early Saturday morning, but the later we get in the day, the better the weather gets. By midday, most of us are dry, and by dinner time, we're not going to have any rain anymore. That's gone. The rest of the weekend is going to be really nice. Make some Saturday afternoon plans. FC Cincinnati, they got a 7:30 game against DC United. That is their last home game until we get into July. Yeah, I mean, they're out of town all of June. So, if you want to catch them and not have to watch them on the TV there for a bit, you're going to have to do that on Saturday, and it does look like a nice night for it. Temperatures low 70s, probably 60s by the time that game starts. Sunday, outside of some filtered sunshine at times, some high thin clouds, really nice Sunday. And then we fast forward through Monday, Tuesday, no issues there either. Wednesday is a day we'll keep an eye on because that is when we'll see our next chance, at least a chance for some rain to push in. And better chances there on Friday, or Thursday rather. So Wednesday we could break the streak, we could stay dry. It's just kind of one of those 50-50 things, just depending on the timing of that next system. It's still too far out for particular timing, but it does look to be at least later right now in the evening on Wednesday. And then Thursday looks like another mess. And Thursday will be a day we'll have to keep an eye on. Again, too far out for specific details, but some of the ingredients will at least be there to see some stronger storms into the tail end of next week. And if not stronger storms, certainly some heavy rainfall. Moisture, one of those ingredients, and we'll see quite a bit of that. So just be prepared for that. By the time it's all said and done, here's our first wave of rain diving on through. Where you see those purple shaded areas south of town, again, generally around and south of the downtown area, if you just cut a line through the heart of the tri-state, areas southward could see in isolated spots an inch plus of rainfall through the morning commute tomorrow and into the afternoon as well. Other areas, again, I think these numbers kind of overdo it a little bit, but other areas anywhere between a quarter to a half inch, not out of the question. But a lot of areas up there, once you start getting to northern Butler, Warren, Clinton counties, Franklin, Fayette, Union, it's probably going to be less than a quarter inch of rain, just depending on where those heavy downpours line up. We're going to fast forward into next week adding on some more rainfall, and this is why I say they're kind of two heavy hitters with these, because they're both going to feature some heavy rainfall at times. And, by the time it's all said and done, a couple inches of rain, not out of the question. Again, I do think models at this, that far out overdo it a little bit. But certainly could see some hefty rainfall total, some localized flooding, not out of the question. So enjoy the sunshine today. Enjoy the sunshine this weekend and Monday and Tuesday. We're going to try to make a 5-day stretch maybe, if we can sneak it out there Wednesday to keep that dry stretch alive. But it comes to a screeching halt late Wednesday into Thursday, and so does the warm-up. We're back up to 75 Monday. I have us at 80 degrees Tuesday, mid-80s, low to mid-80s on Wednesday. Certainly with how breezy it's going to be on Wednesday ahead of that next storm system, maybe could sneak out some slightly warmer temperatures if the winds don't, howl as much, but we'll see. With how breezy it's going to be, I think we're going to be a little cooler. And then Thursday, that's when the rain pushes back in and drops temperatures back to more seasonable or below normal levels. Another thing to note, once we get past that stretch through that 7 days, it does look like June the 6th to the 12th still looking at above normal temperatures. It's not to say you can't have some days where it's going to be a little cooler than others, but generally through that stretch, 8 to 14 days out, still looking to see above normal temperatures. And remember, 8 to 14 days out, our normal temperature will be at least 80 degrees, if not 81 degrees. So above that, mid-80s, so pool weather. Likely a couple of, as long as we can dodge the storms. Another thing to note about Saturday. Saturday's going to be interesting. We're already in the midst of wildfire season up in Canada. And there are a lot of fires going on right now up in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, just up to our northwest. And the northerly flow that's going to help to clear that rainfall out early Saturday, it's going to be diving in from a similar area where there's some big wildfires ongoing, and a lot of that smoke could get pulled into our area into the day Saturday. So that's something to keep an eye on. I'm not overly concerned, but as that cooler air rushes in, kind of pulls some of that air aloft down to the surface, there's a chance with some of that mixing, the rain pulling things down Saturday morning, it might smell a little smoky outside Saturday morning, kind of like a campfire, that would be the smoke from the wildfires Saturday, and it could decrease the air quality. Something to keep an eye on for Saturday. Again, not a major concern, just some other random kind of weird thing that happens sometimes when you get some of that wildfire smoke to come out of Canada. And that would be heading our way early Saturday. Not a widespread issue. Could make as the skies clear out, it might make the sky look a little hazy, but something to keep an eye on there. Sunday looks great, just filtered sunshine, just plain old clouds there. Monday, Tuesday, also great. Wednesday, I always forget to do this. I have the other one ready. Let's get you the right 7-day forecast. It has the bonus day at the end because everybody wants to see that. We just have to look through one more animation, then we'll get there. Again, weekend, great. Once we get past that rain on Friday, Reds are back in town for the first of 2 series coming up this week. The other one starts Friday. The first of which, I had it written down. I think it's Milwaukee there, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Looks great, except for maybe late Wednesday. Keeping an eye on that. I think that Wednesday game is an afternoon one anyway. I could be lying. I could have just made that up. I have no idea what time that game is. Wednesday, chances for rain increase the later we get in the day, so hopefully that's the business person special there Wednesday, and you have that afternoon game, because the later we get in the day, the better the rain chances will be. And then Thursday, that second of 2 heavy hitters, and Thursday would be our next opportunity. Again, way too far out for details, but could be our next chance to see some stronger storms. In addition to the heavy rainfall, and it'll cool us down just a little bit. So let's see if we have any comments, questions, complaints, suggestions. Thank you, Lily. Great to see you. Nothing on there. Oh, it's going to be a great day. If we rain. Yes, rain is over for today, Janet. Janet was asking if the rain is over. Yes, today we're done with it. Behind me, you can see some of the sunshine peeking back out. Looks really, really nice. Tomorrow does not look nice, though. It will rain pretty heavily through the morning hours. If you have to head out and hit the road, you're going to be slowed down. Just expect some slowdowns. It's going to happen. It happens when it rains anyway. If you do come across, maybe one of the localized areas where we might see a little bit of, street flooding, turn around. Don't try driving through that. You don't want to ruin your car. Not in this economy. Are you ready for our weather? Yeah, like I said, I was kind of replying to Erin earlier. She was mentioning, ready for some of that summer weather. We have some, 80s next week. I wouldn't say it's summer-like because the humidity values, generally for Tuesday at least, are going to be pretty low with mostly clear skies. But we're not going to get rid of the rain because June is, on average, our wettest month of the year. So that's, I wouldn't expect, especially just looking back at that rainfall forecast as we close out, May, I almost said March, close out May and head into June. It's not looking great. Looking like we're going to start off our June very wet. Now, interesting fact, last year, June of 2024 was our second driest June ever. We picked up less than an inch of rain last June. It doesn't look like it's going to start that way this time. We might see more than that just the first couple days of June. So just be prepared. It looks like a soggy stretch. A lot of sunshine in there too, so that's some good news. But a couple big rain events. Starting Friday, another one towards the tail end of next week. General trend in temperatures, over the long term looks to be like we're going to be warming up, so that's at least a piece of good news there. I don't have any more comments there, which is always good. I don't have any more here either, so hopefully everybody's just saying, good, everything looks great. I'm going to stop listening to you talk, and I'm going to go outside and enjoy the sunshine. That's pretty much the message today. Get out there, enjoy some sunshine today. And then be very careful heading out the door tomorrow morning just with all the rain we're going to see in the area. Some spots, several inches of rainfall. One more look at that timing, and then I'm going to call it quits because, as always, this time of the day when we have been talking about food segments and every morning show we run, I start getting a little bit hungry. I can feel my stomach growling. So, again, today, outside of some filtered sunshine, thicker clouds later, no big deals. Tomorrow morning, let's just run through this slow. Some showers are possible as early as 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. Rain is possible closer to downtown, the 275 loop between 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning. So unless you're a real early riser, and I will be there all tomorrow morning to guide you through one more round of bad news. Unless you're out of bed and already on the road before 5, you're going to run into this. Between 5 to 6 o'clock, that rain becomes a little bit more widespread and intense. Between 6 to 7, that is when we're going to see some of our heaviest rainfall down to the south around and south of downtown. That continues through 8, 9, and 10 o'clock before we finally see that heavy swath of rain pushing eastward. Here downtown, we should start to dry out a little bit briefly there after about noon or so, 1, 2 o'clock. Still some lingering showers down there, and then a few isolated storms will pop up as we head towards dinner time Friday. Now, there will be some dry time. Don't be fooled. After 6 to 7 o'clock, you're going to think, okay, it's all over. That was it. We do have more rain likely into Friday night and early Saturday morning. So if you're going to be out late Friday, you have the late Friday plans, that will be an issue that you'll have to deal with. So thank you again for the questions. Thank you again for everything else. One last look here at the 7-day. I will put that up in full screen so everybody can see it on all devices they may or may not be watching on. It's going to take me an extra click, but I'll get there. There we go. All right, so through the next couple of days, again, heavy rain tomorrow. That's the wrong one again. Gummit, I knew I was going to do that. You'll have to watch the animation one more time. Your first alert for tomorrow morning is rainfall. It's going to be heavy at times, slowing things down. Just take the rain gear with you. That rain exits early Saturday. Rest of the weekend looks fantastic. Next week, first couple games of that Red Series look fantastic. Even Wednesday for that third game of the Milwaukee Series looks pretty good. Until that rain pushes in late, and then another chance for some storms, perhaps some strong storms out there. We'll keep our eyes on Thursday of next week. Get out there, enjoy some sunshine. Stop listening to me. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. I'll be up dark and early to deliver all that bad news to you as you get ready to head out the door. Have a good one, everyone.